Bonjour, grade 8. Here is part 2 of our Passe composé lesson, and this one will cover le passé composé avec être. All right, so as a review, there are two forms of the passé composé. We learned about the form using avoir, which is the easiest of the two because you create sentences using general verb endings, and it is not important to know who was doing the action because the subject and the verbs do not need to agree or by adding s's or adding e's, and we'll talk about that. So it didn't matter if a girl was talking or a boy was talking. I would take off the ER off of parler, and it would end up with E and an accent, period. Nothing else added on. Does not matter if it's a singular or plural or anything like that. As a quick review for the passé composé with avoir, the step 1 is you conjugate the verb avoir, and here we have it up here for you. And then why avoir? Again, you need to remember all parts of this tense. There are 3 parts, and you need to think of it as saying as you have done something. So instead of saying she talked, she has walked, she has eaten, etc. Step 2, if you remember, you take off your infinitive endings, the ER, IR, or RE, and you place these endings, the E, the I, or the U, and again, it must be the E with the accent, and that forms the participe passé. And all that is what does that verb become or look like when I'm using it in the past tense? So here are some examples. Parler, fini, attendu. So far, that should just be a review. Le passé composé avec l'auxiliaire être is different in a few ways. Number 1, most notably, you must know who was doing the action, male, female, plural, and singular. And number 2, only certain verbs use être in the past tense, and these verbs will need to be memorized. There's just a few of them. There's 16, and they have to be memorized. Where when the auxiliary verb is avoir, the passé composé uses any type of verb not relating to the subject or person doing the action. With être, the verbs are more personal actions with a lot of opposites. So it is more, you're going to see there are more actions that need to be related to the person doing the action. So le verbe auxiliaire, as a reminder, is the first verb conjugated in the sentence, either avoir or être. Introducing Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp. Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp is a mnemonic device that helps you remember what verbs are conjugated with the verbe auxiliaire être. Their past participles do not follow any rules like all the other ones formed with avoir. You remember, like all ERs, E with an accent, all IRs are an I, all REs are a U. These again will have to be memorized. Here are the infinitives of the 16 verbs that make up Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp. You're going to notice that most of the past participles are irregular. That is, for example, we have devenir, which means to become. It becomes devenu in the past tense. When it is an IR verb, it should have an I if you're following avoir. But no, when it is conjugated with être only, and it is going to become devenu. So we have devenir, to become, revenir, to come back, monter, to climb, rentrer, to re-enter, sortir, to exit, venir, to come, arriver, to arrive, naître, to be born, descendre, to go down, entrer, to enter, retourner, to return, tomber, to fall, rester, to stay, aller, to go, mourir, to die, partir, to leave. And then over here, you see what the past participle is. This is what devenir becomes. And then you see them all, not again, like not all of them follow the pattern. Some of them do. We have arriver, that is E with an accent. You have some that fit in, that just happen to fit in, but most of them are irregular. What was with all those brackets at the end of the past participles? Well, these verbs must agree with their pronoun subject they follow. For example, if it is a female doing the action, the verb will have an extra E at the end. If it's plural, we're going to add an S. If you remember, these endings, they are much like adjectives. They help to describe the person doing the action because, again, these verbs are more personal. Subject, pronoun, genders. So if you remember, we've done this lesson alone many times. Je can be masculine singular or feminine singular, and all that means is that a boy can say je, a boy can talk about themselves and say I, and a girl can talk about themselves and say I. And again, singular, of course, means that there is one person. When I say I am arriving, I am the one human by myself. So two is the same as je. It means you, and it could be masculine singular, feminine singular. Il can only be masculine singular. Il is one male. It could only be masculine singular. Elle is one female, can only be feminine singular. Nous and vous can be either. We can be a group of girls or a group of boys or a group of boys and girls mixed, which would make that MPL. So masculine plural or feminine plural. Vous, again, masculine plural or feminine plural. Il, the plural will always be masculine plural, and elle will always be feminine plural. And again, remember, ils can be all boys or boys and girls mixed. How to form each gender from the participe passé, what the verb becomes in the past. So you're going to see the PP here. That just means participe passé. All right, so if your sentence is masculine singular, so for example, if it was something like, he came back, I would refer back to that chart with the participe passé, and I would leave the participe passé alone. Whatever you see in that column before the brackets, the original form of the participe passé, I'm just going to write it down. Okay, boys are very simple. We do not add extras for anything that has to do with boys. For feminine singular, if it's a girl that did the action, I'm going to add an extra E to the end of the participe passé. If you remember in that chart, right here, we see that extra E. This column right here, if I'm just adding the E, is feminine singular. Okay, going back. MPL, if it is a bunch of boys doing the action, right? So anything that has MPL as an option, you're going to add an S to the end of the participe passé. Okay, so if we refer back, you're going to add that S. You're not going to put the extra E. So this row by itself is masculine singular without the brackets. This together with the E attached is feminine singular. Now get that E out of there, and that beginning with that S is masculine plural. And finally, if it is feminine plural, I'm going to add ES to my participe passé. So if it was a girl, for example, getting born, it would include the original form plus both of these endings. So for example, she left. Elle est partie. This one is easy. This is an example of a feminine singular sentence. There is an extra E on the end of the past participle of partir because the person leaving is female. And we see that by the subject L. I saw that it's she left, so I know that that is going to be a feminine singular sentence. If you think of it as an adjective, and again, I want to stress that these are not adjectives, they are verbs, but they follow the same rules of agreement that when we did adjectives. Okay, so if you remember, if a girl was smart, we added an E, as opposed to when a boy was smart, or a bunch of boys were smart, or a bunch of girls were smart. So this top sentence right here, this is a feminine singular. I added the extra E. Now, if it was a sentence, he became, il est devenu. This looks plain to me. I don't see any E's. I don't see an S. So also simple to understand, a male completed the action. So the original past participle without any endings is the correct form with this subject. So with he, I'm just going to add the original form. This is an MS sentence, masculine singular, one person, and it was a boy. What about subjects that don't explicitly represent one gender, like je, tu, nous, and vous? Because je can be either, tu can be either, nous and vous can also be either. The agreements tell you everything you need to know. That's why it is so important to learn how to do it. So we arrived. If I was to say we arrived at 8 o'clock in English, you have no idea If it was a bunch of girls, a bunch of boys, you have no idea. But in French, when I'm writing that down, the way that the verb is spelt is going to tell me more about the person doing the action. So, what does this tell us about who arrived? Well, I see an extra S at the end of the verb, so that tells me that the subject is plural. Obviously, we is going to be plural, so that is for sure. I don't see any extra E's in that answer, but I know that the extra ES means feminine. So without knowing anything else and using the clues from the verb spelling the gender of the subject, it is a male and plural, so masculine plural. So I only see, so without that S here, if that was blocked, that's the masculine form of the participe passé of arriver, and I just see an S. So I know that that's going to be masculine plural. Now, I fell. If you read that somewhere, you have no idea about the person who's falling. But again, in French, seeing the spelling of the verb tells me some more information about the person who is falling. Okay, so if I'm looking at the clues we discussed on the first sentence, I can see that there is an extra E at the end of the past participle of the verb. From what I know, an extra E tells me that the subject is feminine. No S at the end, so it is a feminine singular sentence. This was a girl that fell. Extra E right there. As always, I will tell you the gender of whatever sentence on your work, on your work, on a test, whatever. I will tell you what gender I'm looking for when you're completing it. So, like I said, this list right here will have to be memorized because these are the only ones that use être as the verb auxiliaire. Always remember Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp. That's going to be very helpful for you to memorize these 16 verbs, know which 16 they are, and also what they become. So there's a double dose of memorization that has to happen here. But I promise you, you can do it. All right, let's try it out. So number one, I returned. And as you see there, I put a bracket M. Je suis retourné. This is a masculine singular sentence. It has the conjugated form of être and the participe passé of the verb. No extra endings. Exactly what you saw in this chart right here. Without those brackets, that is what I'm going to put for masculine singular sentences. All right, number two, they masculine entered. Ils sont entrés. This is a masculine plural sentence. Conjugated form of être and the participe passé of the verb with an S. There's more than one person doing it, but they're male, so no E's at all, just the participe passé plus an S. You were born. Oh, sorry, that is definitely a typo again. I apologize. All right, so you were born. Let's do that together. Tu es né. That is a feminine singular sentence. It's conjugated form of être and the participe passé with an extra E because it is a girl being born. So we have another E at the end. And finalement, we have you plural arrived in the feminine. We have vous êtes arrivé. So we have the original form of the participe passé. We have an extra E and an S. So that makes it feminine, the extra E. And it also makes it plural with the S at the end. So this is an FPL sentence. Comparing the same verb. So I have the two opposite verbs here. I have to be born and I also have to die. So you can see here it goes from MS all the way to FPL, and you can see how the verb changes with every sentence. So I used subjects that were explicitly masculine or feminine. So he, she, they, masculine, they, feminine. And you can see the development here of the verb from masculine singular that looks very easy and original and basic. I've added an extra E when I have to make it feminine. I have added an S to the original when I'm making it masculine plural. And I'm adding an ES when I am talking about FPL, adding that ES from the original form here. We have mourir. That one does not have an E with an accent. So here you can also see how the development happens here. Il est mort. So that is looks original. Elle est mort. We added an E to the end. Ils sont morts. I added an S to the original here. and then elle s'en mord, es. So you're always building on this original one, the ms, and then you're adding, for sure when it's plural, there's going to be an s at the end. If you notice here, there's no s's for singular. For plural, there will always be an s. It's just a matter of will there be an e or not to show if it was a boy doing it or a girl doing it. You can see that the patterns for the agreement of the endings follow the same idea, regardless of if the verb is an ER, IR, or RE. That is not important here at all. You're never going to add an extra letter just because it was an ER verb or an IR verb. As you can see, the majority of them are very irregular. So we saw that on the first verb. Devenir, which is an IR, becomes devenu. Like that has nothing to do with anything. If it was an ER, IR, doesn't matter. That's just the way it is. And you're going to add your e's and your s's depending on if it's masculine, feminine, singular, plural. What is important here is knowing that the participe passé of these verbs, so understanding what those are, and understanding how to make them agree with the subject of the sentence. Okay, so that is it, grade eights. I hope you understood this lesson. It's a tiny bit more difficult than the avoir one where you didn't care who was doing the action. This one is a little different because of all the agreements, but I think with this lesson and building on what we've done over the years, that you can figure it out and that it wouldn't be too hard for you figuring out this work. As always, I would say please keep this lesson handy for next year for grade 9. You will definitely need this for next year and beyond if you choose to take French that long, which I hope that you will. But that is it, guys. Thank you and au revoir.